Nope. I left my cup in the kitchen.
Hi, I'm Carleigh, and that's Michelle, and we're best friends. In October 2021, we sort of went viral.
Yeah.
It wasn't a great time. No, we're here to tell you that story. I've been a Leaf fan since before I was born. This video is not about that, but that is an important part of our story. My family has had Leafs seasons tickets since 1941. My dad's stepdad first got them, and then he was promptly shipped off to World War II and never got to use them. It was another 4 years before he was able to use this investment. Since then, my dad has gone to Leaf games all throughout his childhood. He was at some very significant games, like when the Leafs have won cups and stuff like that, which I know has been a long time. We're not here to talk about that, okay?
Patience.
We do not need to worry about that. But anyways, all that to say that since I was a child, I have been going to Leaf games, and a lot of my fondest memories are going to Leaf games with different members of my family, seeing really cool historic events, so much so that I actually even have a Leafs tattoo.
Yeah.
Being a Leaf fan then is quite important to me, not just because of like following the Leafs, but because of the family element.
I was gonna say, yeah, your family culture
is very much surrounding being a Leafs family. When Michelle and I became friends, one of the first big things that we did together was I took her to a Leaf game. And that very first night, Michelle apparently forgot her wallet. I don't remember that.
Yeah, you paid for everything.
Apparently I paid for everything. So,
but we did all this stuff. We went to the Hockey Hall of Fame.
That was all the stuff.
All the stuff!
And that was in 2007. But we've always had a good time. It's always been a fun time, even when the Leafs lose, which they often do. We always have a fun time going. And then there was something that happened. You might have heard of it.
It's the Panorama Pizza.
Yeah. Michelle and I were supposed to go to the Leaf game the day that they canceled sports.
Oh, that's right! I totally forgot about that. And then we ended up going to Target and getting your wedding dress, which, whew, because they closed the border.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's a good thing that we weren't able to go to the game and we went to the States instead, because my wedding dress was ready to be picked up. And then they closed the borders, like Michelle said, like a week or two later. So
yeah,
I'm sure they would have sent it to me, but still, less hassle this way. Anyways, all that to say, Michelle and I were supposed to go to the game the day that sports was canceled.
We drove into Toronto.
Michelle drove, because she always does.
We parked like in one of the underground parking.
Like, we actually parked in a different spot than we normally would.
Yeah.
So if we had parked where we normally parked, none of this would have happened, because we had to walk across Maple Leaf Square.
Yeah.
As opposed to coming at it from this way.
Yeah. So we had digital tickets this year, which was a first for me. I didn't have the Ticketmaster app on my phone. So I'm like fumbling around with my phone, trying to get my app to work and like my ticket loaded so I can actually like go in.
And I'm panicking, because I always do, because I'm like, I don't want to miss anything. And so I'm like running us across.
We're huffing.
Yeah.
And then we get stopped by a reporter. And he's like, hey, do you mind if I take a picture of you guys and like just ask some questions? And we're like, sure. Like, why not? Whatever. We're both famous in our own right. Here's a clip from the interview.
Okay, so we have Carleigh and Michelle. Tell us about this process.
It's a bit of a nightmare, but I understand why we have to do it, but having to get all this paperwork, and tickets are digital now, each person has to have their own ticket on their own device, just makes it a little bit frustrating trying to get in when you're rushing.
I didn't have a Ticketmaster app set up on my phone, so I had to sign in and make an account and all that fun stuff, so
Now,
whatever.
do you feel safer with this, or?
I do. I wouldn't have come if you didn't have to have a passport to get in.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that.
So this is the way it is now.
Yeah, it is. It's life now. It's a pandemic lifestyle, Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, let's go. So you can see, like, he wasn't really asking any poignant questions. It was just like, how do you feel about being at the game and stuff? Like, we didn't think that what we said would be controversial.
And let me just cut in for a moment, because I do want to say that we're not here right now to talk about mandates, to talk about vaccine status, to talk about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And you have to remember also that that video was taken in October 2021.
Yeah.
So what we were experiencing at that time is completely different than what we're experiencing now in October 2022.
Yeah.
And the way that the Panorama Pizza was going and the unknowns and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So at that moment, that was how we felt.
We finished the interview, went on our way, got in and found our seats, and probably grabbed dinner, because that's typically what we do.
I went to the bathroom and was checking my phone on the way and saw that this reporter, Joe Warmington of the Toronto Sun, had tweeted our interview and just like a little blurb, which you saw. And I was like, oh, hey, he actually did tweet it. That's kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent it to my parents and to James, just to be like, hey, look, we were interviewed. Probably 10 minutes later, I get a message back from James that was like slightly panicky.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, don't check your phones, don't check social media, keep Michelle away from her phone. And I was like, what is going on? Like,
yeah.
Is there something going on out in the world that like we don't know about yet? Like, I had no idea what was happening, because the way it was phrased, it was very panicky.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, tell me what's going on. What's going on? I need to know. Don't keep me in the dark. And he was like, your interview has been retweeted by somebody and the comments on it are disgusting. I was like, oh, okay, who's it been retweeted by? And it had been retweeted by somebody called Ezra Levant. He is an extremist right-wing political person. And again, just to be clear, I am not condemning him either, because just because I don't agree with his opinions doesn't mean he doesn't deserve to have opinions.
Right.
Like we talked about in our previous video about body positivity and stuff. We are all allowed to have our own opinions.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way that you share your opinions that matters. So I am not putting down his opinions. I am putting down the situation that unfolded from him retweeting it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unfortunately, the original tweet that Ezra Levant then retweeted has been deleted. Most likely because I reported it. That's my guess. I don't know for sure. But as you saw, the other one that Joe Warmington had tweeted was still up.
Like the original interview.
Yeah, the original interview. Because the one that Ezra Levant retweeted was actually just a picture of us with a bit of a blurb about what we had said. He didn't retweet the video.
Right.
But that didn't stop the comments.
No.
So,
here's some of the comments.
Let's have some fun, shall we? Now, to be clear, this is a year later.
Mm-hmm.
I just went back last night before we filmed this video. I went back to find these comments. A lot of them have been deleted. A lot of the users have deleted their comments, probably because they realized that they were assholes.
Well, also because Julianne went through and started reporting them all.
Your sister-in-law?
Yeah. Would you say there was almost 400 comments on this post?
No, there was more than that. There was over 700 comments on this
700 comments.
Just on Ezra Levant's post.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't include what was on Joe Warmington's, because he also had, at this point, right now, I think there's 322 comments on this one. So over 1,000 comments. So when we say we went viral, we're fibbing a little bit. We're stretching the truth of what viral is. All right, so let's have some fun, shall we? All right. I think this one is one of my favorite comments. They're both 100 pounds overweight and talking about health measures. It's amazing how stupid people are. Thank you for thinking I'm only 100 pounds overweight.
Yeah.
But also, this ties into the body positivity conversation we had a couple weeks ago,
mm-hmm.
and the medical conversation that we're going to have in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Just because we're fat doesn't mean that we can't be concerned about medical issues.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you have one medical issue doesn't mean that you can't be concerned about a different one.
I love that this person's kind of self-actualized. It's if they were truly concerned about their health, they would lose weight. But it's really not my place to say. It's their personal medical decisions.
Right?
Thanks. Thank you? I never saw this one. This is good. I never knew there were walrus colonies in the Great Lakes. Okay. Oh, this one. These ladies are at risk of getting sick from a multitude of diseases. Like,
we know.
What?
But so are you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what size your body is.
Yeah.
Everyone
all
is
at
at risk of getting a multitude of diseases.
Okay, I don't mean to shock you, but we all are gonna die one day. What?
This one just really doesn't make any sense. They're anti-vaxxers, obviously.
But we were talking about
being vaccinated.
Read the room.
Wayne Kerr at CDN Wayne Kerr, so very fat.
Duh. Thank you for your comments.
Some people did comment on what we said.
Mm-hmm.
And in the whole idea of being allowed to have opinions, I have no problem with that. This person says, pandemic lifestyle, OFFS. Which, you know, that's valid. He was commenting on what we said. We don't have a problem with the comments like that. You're allowed to disagree with me just like I'm allowed to disagree with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the problem. Patty, however, the next person who commented on it, said, perhaps they need to work on their lifestyle. Obesity is a factor for ICU admissions for... Yet, I, who eat right, exercise daily, sleep well, drink water, and take my vitamins, is banned from the game because I'm a threat to public health because I'm unvaccinated. Make that make sense. Yet I, who eat right, exercise, not daily, but exercise, I sleep well, I drink water, I take vitamins. So, based on that list, Patty and I are the same.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just in a bigger body. Because at one point, I ate too much, and because I have a medical condition.
Mm-hmm.
No need to comment.
So there was one, we couldn't find it.
I think it was on the Ezra Levant.
Oh, maybe. It's like, I would get vaccinated to see these two play hockey. And sir, we were fantastic. Okay? We were good, so...
Ronnie Pickering, I'm healthy.
Just because I'm fat does not mean I don't have the right to be concerned about medical issues. Because I exist in this world just like you. And this affects me just like you. Because I've made a choice to be vaccinated doesn't negate your choice not to be vaccinated. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't.
It's a personal choice.
It's a personal choice. So the comments that were strictly about disagreeing with us about our opinions about the vaccine, we didn't really give a second thought to because you have your right to express that. We were given a platform to express our opinion on it, and that's that. It's the fact that they felt like our weight was the sole purpose of the video. We didn't even talk about our weight once.
Yeah. We're allowed to exist in this world, just like you are.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that, but if you didn't, I am reassuring you that you are allowed to exist in this world, and you are allowed to take up space.
Yeah.
We were taking up space that day, and people were not okay with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some people, however, were quite nice.
Yeah.
One person here was replying to somebody else who had left a very negative comment. However, that comment has now since been deleted, so I don't know what it was. And so this person, she says, wow, you have an invisible illness but are reveling in shitting on two women whose medical/life histories you know zero about. In my experience, those who struggle have more empathy. You are an exception. So there were people in the comments who were defending us. Not our viewpoints, because those don't need defended. Defending our persons.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas P. Sullivan, love is the expansive force of consciousness. Show a little.
Yeah.
Like that. Somebody messaged saying, these two awesome women had a good time at a game and followed the rules and are living their lives. Happy for them. That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Brandon Davis. We appreciate your comments.
Yeah.
And then there was also a few people, like Lisa, who said directly to Joe, please delete this tweet. The comments are disgusting. Other replies, people have said that Joe Warrington is a reporter who picks these type of people to cause these types of reactions.
Mm-hmm.
He intentionally chose us, is what they're saying, because he knew that it would be controversial. He knows the way the internet works, and he knew that it would get his tweet a lot of comments and a lot of likes and a lot of discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And so in some respects, Joe is to blame here.
Yeah.
But do I blame him? No.
No. He's just doing his job.
Mm-hmm. He probably did choose us intentionally. He went, oh, look, 2 fat chicks. This will be good.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, it was everybody else's comments that really caused the problem. Because if he had tweeted that and there were no comments, then it wouldn't matter.
Mm-hmm. I don't have a presence on Twitter. I find it overwhelming, to be honest. So I'm not on Twitter. And at the time, I didn't have a major social media presence. Like, I had Facebook and Instagram, but it was mostly just my friends and family that I had on there. I wasn't working on my business yet. So I hadn't experienced anything like this before. Like, I can't remember if you said you had, but personally, I had never experienced anything more than, like, 5 comments from people that I know being like, good job, you're the best. So having these people who don't know me say absolutely awful things about me, it was a hard pill to swallow. Like, it took me a very long time to reconcile my emotions because of this. Like, I was absolutely shocked, and I was showing my friends at work, and I was like, can you believe this? Like, what the hell have I done to garner such hate? Like, you don't know me. And I think that is a huge part of why I have my own social media presence now, and B, why we've decided to pursue this adventure because of this, essentially. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I want the conversation to change. I want stuff like this to be a thing of the past. And like Carleigh has said before, like, you have the right to your opinion, and if you disagree with my words and feel like you need to post something about it in a respectful way, then fine, who am I to say? But you can't attack someone for the way they look. You don't know me. You don't know me. And I don't know you. And all I can say is that from this experience is that these people just have a lot of hate in their heart and apparently need to get it out online. But yeah, like, it took, I was really devastated. Like, I felt like it was probably not the worst thing, but one of the worst things that has ever happened to me is, like, being attacked viciously online by random strangers.
Whereas I had the opposite reaction.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was my ran out of F's to give new attitude. But when I saw these, I actually thought that they were quite funny.
Mm-hmm.
I found it amusing, some of the things that people were saying. Like that walrus colony one. Like, that, I was actually laughing out loud at them. And I did spend a bit of time looking at them. And, well, I guess I wasted a bit of time looking at them. But in reality, I was quite enjoying myself.
Yeah.
We had completely opposite reactions to it, which isn't to say that one of our reactions is more valid than the other. It's just that we experienced it differently. But as Michelle said, it is the reason why we are here today and why we are doing our YouTube channel. It took us a while, like it's a year now since this incident. We talked about a few different things. We talked about maybe doing a podcast or just starting Instagrams. But we felt like that the best way to share this experience and to help to change the conversation and the dynamic about plus size people was to have us actually on camera and to see us moving and to see us in all of our glory. Because while I don't care that these people said these horrible things about me, I care that Michelle cares.
Yeah.
And I care that my other friends or people that I don't know are upset when these sorts of things happen to them. And besides that, like, even like influencers and celebrities who put themselves out there as well, it's not fair for them to have to go through all of these negative comments. Like, I think about reality stars. Michelle and I are very big Sister Wives fans. We watch it all the time. Like, we stay up to date, we stay current.
Yeah.
And every single time one of the family members posts on Instagram, people comment on it as if they're not human beings. And, you know, in the last couple of weeks, apparently, like, Mary has been coming back and like saying things to people and just sort of like fighting back, and it's like, good for you, but also at the same time I wish she didn't have to, because she doesn't have to put up with that stuff, just like we shouldn't have to put up with that stuff.
As fat people, we're allowed to have opinions about the world around us. Our channel is a testament to that existence.
Thank you so much for watching and allowing us to share our story on our own terms. We would love it if you would subscribe so that you don't miss any of our other stories. They're not all this depressing, I promise. And also, if you really liked this video, we would love if you liked it so that the algorithm knows that people like this kind of content. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Bye!